Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app, O'Connor and Company.
8:37 now on a very busy Tuesday morning as events continue to develop before our very eyes. Joining us now is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the House of Representatives, the fine representative from Ohio, Jim Jordan. Chairman Jordan, thanks for joining us, sir.
You bet. Good to be with you guys this morning.
Listen, before we get into some of the details here I do want to get into, as we see the announcement of the ceasefire and then some additional bombing overnight and the president's statement and what appears to be another reinvention of the ceasefire here, we're told that the president's base, that his MAGA support and America First support in the House and in the Senate is sort of cracking and crumbling. You're sort of in the middle of it. We've had a lot of statements from one of your colleagues, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Congressman Massey. What is your perspective on the president's support right now in a very fragile caucus?
No, I think it's very strong. I mean, look, Israel intelligence said Iran was close. American intelligence said that, and maybe more importantly, we had the IAEA said they were getting close. And this is a terrorist state that said, has chanted "Death to Israel, death to America." This was good for the state of Israel, good for America, and I appreciate the president's good for the world, and I appreciate the president's decision. We were in Israel in February, and I actually kind of thought that there may be something happen even sooner than it did relative to Iran. But no, I think this is a good thing, and let's hope the ceasefire holds and Iran comes to some kind of sensible understanding here.
You see the left really struggling with this. I mean, this is just an incredible development, possibly peace in our time. And you see the left and the media, Margaret Brennan, this weekend saying things like, well, were they really going to, were they really a danger? And Rubio pushed back on that really well. But what are you hearing from your colleagues? Obviously, the left has called for impeachment. But are any Democrats besides Fetterman willing to come forward and say this is a really positive development? Oh,
I don't know if they'll come forward and say it, but I do think there are Democrats who believe that. Again, I don't know anyone with common sense who thinks it's a good idea that Iran is supporting all the terrorist activity they've supported around the world for so long, that they get nuclear capability. That defies common sense. So the president, as I said, helped Israel. Israel helped Israel. The president helped America. The president helped the world when he made this decision. And the precision, the deception, all the elements that made this attack, I think, successful. To me, that's God bless the United States military as well. I mean, it was truly an amazing undertaking what they did. No one knowing about it. I find that fascinating as well. And the left is, the left says, oh, keep putting tax money into Ukraine, keep pouring money into Ukraine, and some of the people, the crazies on the left, we need to bomb Moscow, but no, we don't want to help our best ally Israel. We can't do that. That makes no sense when you're talking about the terrorist state of Iran. So again, I think people with common sense appreciate what the president did.
Congressman Jordan, then to that end, and I want to get onto some other topics, but in the spirit of bipartisanship and cooperating with Democrats, will you please allow them to bring these articles of impeachment to your committee? I think that Congresswoman Jayapal would be perfect to make the case. I think Speaker Johnson, with a wry little smile on his face, would enjoy seeing the Democrats make the case for impeachment of Donald Trump and then see the Democrats have to vote on that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We probably won't allow that to happen.
Right, but I appreciate you putting up with my nonsense, though. Thank you.
Yeah, not at all. I also think that some people just fail to see that there is. I do believe there is a special relationship between the United States of America and the state of Israel, and it's strategic, it's cultural, it's religion, it's Judeo-Christian value. There's something special about that relationship as well, and I don't think we should lose sight of that in this whole issue as we think about what happened and what happens going forward.
Indeed. We've had another Supreme Court decision here overturning one of these rogue federal judges who put a temporary restraining order and sort of ceasing the executive branch's operations. It's incredibly unconstitutional by many people's perspectives, and it continues to happen. Is there something you can do at the Judiciary Committee level? Because people forget that these courts that are doing this, they are a function of the legislative branch. You've created these courts. What can you do to sort of rein in these judges?
Well, it's funny you bring it up because we got a hearing today on the budgets for courts, which obviously this is one of the powers that the legislative branch has. So our subcommittee, chaired by Representative Issa, one of the subcommittees of the Judiciary Committee, is having a hearing on this very issue, the budget levels and for our federal court system. Of course, we do oversight. We had a hearing a few months ago where we had former Speaker Gingrich come in and testify to this whole idea that these federal district judges, I think there's like close to 700 of them, that make these injunctions, and the injunction applies nationwide. And he gave us a sort of historical perspective on all that and how this is relatively speaking, a pretty recent phenomena. And then, of course, we pass legislation out of the committee, out of the House. It sits in the Senate, which says if you're a federal district judge and you issue an injunction on some executive order, some activity from the executive branch, that injunction shouldn't apply nationwide, which has sort of been the case throughout history, but it should only apply to the parties in the case in that respective jurisdiction. So we're working on the oversight function, the legislative function, and now we're looking at the appropriations, which is, I think, really the ultimate power that Congress has with this hearing that we have today. So we're trying to use every lever we have to make sure our separate and equal branches of government function the way it's supposed to function, and the president's the president, not some judge in Timbuktu, California.
And finally, yesterday was Justice Clarence Thomas's birthday. Is there anything that you can do in the House of Representatives to extend his life as long as possible? Some sort of genetic research, maybe a brain transplant of some sort could be entertained.
Justice Thomas has been just a stellar justice on the court, and we appreciate his service to the country. We hope it continues. The left has attacked him over the last 6, 7, 8 years. It's been this nonstop attacks on Justice Thomas because he stands up and defends the Constitution. And so you're right. He's a great American, great story, humble beginnings to the highest court in the land, and has given outstanding service to our great country.
As you know, sadly, Chairman Jordan, the attacks can be mean and vicious and horrible and personal, and you've had to endure them too, and it only tells you that you're doing a great job for the American people.
Well said.
Thank you, Congressman.
Well said.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Thank you, guys. Take care.